Welcome to our podcast, When Life Gives You Lemons. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Palmy. We consider ourselves disability advocates and intend to spotlight some disability issues and things we find interesting that we frequently encounter when we're out and about. Also, some history on disability that we find interesting.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our podcast. Just me today. We're going to do an interview with Miss Wheelchair Marilyn. You hear both Palmy and I in on the interview. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Before we really get into the questions, if you will, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what, causes your, if I remember correctly from patents, the causes behind them. So what is your cause, etc.?
Your diagnosis?
I'll diagnosis, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're asking for my diagnosis and my platform for Miss Wheelchair?
Yes.
Miss Wheelchair Maryland?
Right.
Sure. I was born with a congenital condition called arthrogryposis, and I can spell it if you need me to. Arthrogryposis, and that affects the mobility in my arms and legs.
Right.
So, and my legs are affected to the point where I can't stand on them because I can't bear the weight on my lower body or legs.
Right.
Independently, without, let's say, braces or a walker. So that's why I've used a chair as long as I could remember. And so that's my diagnosis and why I'm in a chair. And I want to say a power wheelchair. And I've still, lived life and have tried to and definitely made the best of it. And living, especially being born with a condition and not really having let's say, a sense of like able-bodied, then acquiring my disability, having this perspective of disability, if you will, on my life, really that really contributed to my platform, inclusive education outside of the classroom. My family was wonderful, so great. My parents and family being supportive of me and, making sure I felt included, especially in school. So that was a beautiful thing. And then, or even as a child, but going into adulthood, encountering certain instances of inaccessibility is, well, let me give an example. For instance, disabled parking spaces or those that violate those parking space, let's say, laws or rules without having a plate or placard, or even entrance into a building, especially as an adult, without the push button, which I understand is not required by law, but still, how does one with limited upper body function, how is one supposed to get into a door independently?
Right.
What if I want to go somewhere alone? Or someone is not able to accompany you? What am I supposed to do? So, just those instances, and so many more have led to my platform about. And let me back up a little bit. And what can the community do to help with these circumstances? Another example, I guess a better example I'll give is pumping gas. Again, if I'm saying I'm affected in my upper body, in terms of mobility, pumping gas independently, or as independently as I could be, how am I supposed to do that? So when I took driver's ed, but it was adaptive, and it was suggested to ask someone in the store to help pump with gas. So that educational pieces come into play on my end, where I've learned it's better to go somewhere with, let's say, a 24-hour store or a gas station, let's say, with more employees that would have the staff to assist. Because if you go into a store with or a gas station with one employee, then it's like, then how from logistically, how are they able to shut everything down
Yeah,
and then
it's not
come home?
realistic.
It's not
Yeah,
right. It's not a maybe a I don't want to do this, like, oh, not like I can't or won't. It's just from a business standpoint and a
right.
safety standpoint. So I understand it's kind of that educational component that I've learned.
That's a
Or
great
we
platform, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of broad, and
And I think it's something
it's
that not an able person does not even comprehend.
and that's something I started my speech at nationals with. Is I've often gotten, when talking to people that work in employees of a store or business, or leaders of a business or store or organization, it's almost like they certain boxes are checked for compliance
Right,
perspective, ADA compliance, but it's rarely the situation where, well, I've never had to think about this
right. No
from.
light bulbs go off. Yeah.
Right, right. And
Yeah.
it's through no one's fault. It's just, we don't often think about
Other people.
life through someone else's view lens, especially when it comes to those with a disability.
Right.
So,
Until you're in
yeah.
their shoes, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, one thing that you just talked about that blew my mind was you took driver's ed after you were in a wheelchair, and I'm thinking, I can't even fathom getting hand controls in the car and such,
Well, if
you
it's
know,
the only thing you've learned,
or
the way you've
or even like instructors saying, this is how you get gas when you're disabled. You go inside and ask for help.
no, no, you don't go inside. There, usually, you ask. There's a button, isn't there?
There's probably a button now, but I don't think there probably was when you're at school.
Oh, probably not.
Yes, ma'am. Some places do have buttons, some places do not, but again, logistically, or I can speak from my experience, again, as someone that is affected in their upper body, and I'll say fun sized. I'm about 5 foot tall, but my chair does elevate. But I guess I paint a picture of that realism, if you will, of that scenario. One gas station I went to had the trash can, and like the button was
Oh,
the let's say like a little wall that was holding the structure up, but they had a trash can like sitting like at this wall. Then the button was on over top of the trash can.
oh my goodness.
One another gas station, the button was I don't think it was working. Or again, it's like it depends on. Sometimes it'll depend on who answers the phone, and if they have the staff to answer
Right.
phone or call, or wherever this thing leads to. So,
Kevin's run into
um,
places where just to use the bathroom, that they've stacked soda cans or boxes of soda in the area that it's not wide enough for a chair to go through. So, it's just things that able-bodied people don't think about when they're doing silly things.
and
So,
again, if you two scenarios that were presented to me is in terms of those such scenarios by a manager is well, the bathroom incident. I've definitely been there, done that, and it's
yeah.
like, oh well, sometimes it's just storage, sometimes it may be very temporary, but it's
Right.
still like
Right.
my counter to that is, well, that's almost like a violator of a disabled parking space. It's like, you okay, even if you're going to be a second, it's like that's a second taking time away from someone that needs to get in that space.
Immediately, yeah.
So, or it may have, let's say, passed code upon opening,
Right.
but then,
They don't follow the rules later on, yeah.
yeah, and something I'm trying to work with this, or at least for my city or my state, is to see what I can do on my end to get on those boards, or even for the licensing, because those licenses have to be renewed, from my
Right.
understanding. And who are we doing audits? Is
Yeah.
anybody double checking these things? And from again, where I am, it's the answer is kind of a no. It's more of like maybe paying a fee, or another. Again, I'm not the expert, but again, I definitely feel like that could be a part of that collaboration and community, if you will, if that's a part of the compliance and
Right.
renewal, if you will. If these businesses knew that they had to be up to code, but private businesses, and that's a whole other thing, private businesses are not as protected under the ADA as public businesses. And it's like, but to live life, you have to interact with both.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's really it. Can you tell me how did you get involved in the wheelchair pageant competition? I didn't even know there was such a thing. Does Missouri have one, Kevin? Did you look in?
I have not been able to answer that question.
Oh, okay. So how'd you get involved?
Sure. And I actually heard about this on during COVID
Oh,
when this whole social media boom happened. But I actually heard about this from a motivational speaker that is a wheelchair user,
oh, wow.
and she was sort of sharing how she got her start, and she is one of the more, let's say, popular influencers, if you will. And but how she got her start was through by being Miss Wheelchair America.
Okay.
And
And
I had not,
you
I
mind
had never.
you mind sharing the name?
Sure. Ali Ingersoll, Ali,
Okay.
and I'm
We'll
not
start
too.
following her then. We
Okay.
yeah.
But I've met, so many people in this journey.
And how long of
I
a, I mean, is it like a week long thing, or how's what is
so
all involved in it?
I do know. So it is, you compete on your state level, and then there's a national competition as well.
Oh,
So for
wow.
state, at least from my state, and I do want to say that our leadership may change. So, and rules can change in this life,
Sure.
things change. But the competition was uh 2 days, and we stayed like a weekend. We were in a hotel,
Oh, wow.
and yeah,
What's
yeah,
all
and
involved?
sure. So on the state level, it was a day of um, like I'm gonna say a workshop, finding out what is required, and finding, or getting that information on how important this is, what this means, and where you can go from here. We met former title holders as well, and that was amazing. Again, from, let's say, my perspective, I because I guess want to back up and say that I was taught in mainstream education, not special education. So, and I am the only member of my family with a disability that impairs, let's say, my mobility. So it's not like I grew up with a bunch of role models
Right.
that were in a wheelchair, either in my family or my, let's say, social circle as a child. And then I went to college, and there, from my understanding, there really were no groups or anything like that. So I've never been around many disabled individuals or individuals with disabilities. I'm sorry, let me say it that way. I've never been around many individuals with disabilities that you can connect with, talk with. And an example I love to give is, when someone gets a lifelong diagnosis, many adults, let's say cancer, let's say that example, for instance, the first thing they get are support groups. And
Right.
from my understanding, that's been going on for a long time. But and my parents were even offered support groups. But it was never like, oh, let's get this child to get some friends or something, that, people that can mentor her, or just like play dates or anything like that. And that's a whole other story I could go into, but the lack thereof. It's very different. It can be very isolating. I often kind of give an example of, this is almost like when being born with your disability. It's almost like being a member of the royal family. You're always on display, or a child actor. I think Ariana Grande talked about that. It's like a real push to get those kids in therapy. Like it's just such a different world, if that makes sense. And
It
especially with
is.
the mental health push
It
now. And
does.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said it does make sense. I'm sorry.
Sure, but things are so much better nowadays. There's always room for improvements, but I know that from at least my condition, there are groups for uh, little ones and teens and adults, and there are those groups out there. And I didn't know this at the time, but I've learned recently that even the United Spinal Association, so is has membership and is geared. Their mission is for those that use a wheelchair or with limited mobility, not just spinal cord injury survivors.
Right?
I'm trying to use my words very carefully. I want to be inclusive, politically correct, and sensitive to the individuals in this community, which is kind of new.
Yeah, that's also a topic because, for example, I'm old and it doesn't really matter if I say what's politically correct or not. People just assume that's a word I grew up with because I'm old.
Things just like anything, especially when it comes to a culture, but language changes, and
Sure.
I'm appreciative that these conversations are happening, and people are having to really think about the power behind words, because there's so much power behind the words, behind what we say and what we mean.
Right.
Yeah, can always get better.
I'm sorry. I don't think I answered. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Briefly. So that's day number one. It gives us a lot of information, meeting new people, and then day two is no, and day one includes some speeches, and then day two is family, friends coming. You give another brief speech, and then that's crowning night. It's for Maryland, my state, day two. So yeah, it is a fundraiser as well. Both state and national competition. It really is a fundraiser, but it is what it is.
Now, you said it
Um,
was a fundraiser. Did you have it? Did you support a particular charity?
oh, so I mean, we're trying to raise funds.
Oh, I see. I see.
So yeah, and once I won the state title, then I did have an organization that sponsored me to for some of the fees to get to nationals.
Oh, okay. And
So
what is
yeah,
that charity?
it's a nonprofit called the League for People with Disabilities.
Okay. And is it a state level or is it national?
It is state at this
Oh,
time.
okay. Very
Yes,
nice.
yes. I'm so appreciative, especially in this climate where I got a lot of no's. A lot of companies are, really having to downsize, especially in this political climate. So I am very much appreciative, and to my gracious again friends and family as well. But to get to the national competition, and that is a week long, like
And
Monday through Saturday, and it's workshops, sort of introductions, workshops throughout the week, meeting former title holders again, the current Miss Wheelchair America, and we we have dinner together, which I do want to say, knowing one's place setting, informal dining is very helpful because it is presented in that way. You have to know how to comport oneself. And we pick again because you never know. I know they do the roll on Capitol Hill every year. Miss Wheelchair America is invited, so there definitely is formal dining involved. You never know where you're going to be or who you're going to be meeting or eating with. So,
Right. Right.
where's the
uh,
nationals held?
so for this year, it was held in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and it will be held in that same place next year.
Oh, I'm from Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
I
beautiful
had
up
never
there.
been. Yeah, yeah. I wish we could have seen more of it, but oh, we took we had a little trip, two trips actually. One to the major sponsor, Mary Free Bed.
Okay.
Again, it's Grand Rapids, a rehab hospital. We saw what they do, some amazing work, rehab, physical therapy, aqua therapy, sport therapy, different kinds of chairs.
Wow.
So very much. Such a gracious sponsor, and so much that they can do, and met so few patients. And well, another day we went to, I believe it's called the Mare Garden. It's a beautiful garden with the botanicals. We did a little accessible treasure hunt,
Oh, wow.
which is, we've had to take pictures of some certain things throughout the garden. So a lot of work goes into this planning and organizing. So thankful to the board for all that they've done as well. But yeah, it was beautiful. Just the whole experience was adaptable. But I want to fast forward to the speech night and crowning night. Speech night Friday.
Uh-huh.
And we that's where we give speeches. They are timed and recorded, live streamed. Sorry, recorded and live streamed. It's a lot. And then crowning night, they top five is a given, just kind of like Miss America. They get questions and then crowned, and the board also has their own awards that they give out, and a couple more speeches from different organized members of the community and organizers. So it's a lot, and it's on par with also Miss America, the same thing, 7 days. So
It kept you
definitely,
busy.
they kept us very busy. When people allude to that being a vacation, I'm like, if you only knew, not really, not really at all.
Well, it sounds like you, and that was already held. The nationals were already held.
Yes, yes, ma'am. It was the 17th through August 17th through the 23rd.
Okay. And who was the national winner?
Miss New York.
New York.
Her
Okay.
first name is Latavia. I will not try to pronounce her last name because I will butcher it. I know it begins with an S.
Yeah.
But a beautiful, beautiful uh, girl with a great platform, and very, very much well deserved. I'd say it was 19 and I made top 19, which is
Well,
which is
congratulations.
good enough for me. And again, I took so much, gained so much from this experience. Or won is a better word. I won so much.
And
Confident.
you'll reign as Miss Maryland for a year. Is that what your reign is?
Yes, ma'am. Every title holder has a reign of 1 year.
Okay.
So mine ends, I was crowned in March
Of
of
next year.
25. So it will be over March 26th, but we are always looking for hopefuls.
And then what is your duties during the year of your reign? Do you have
Sure. Yes, yes. So us we have to attend at least one abilities expo, and there's many throughout the year. And we're supposed to do or attend two events per month.
wow.
And we're also supposed to go to every county. Again, if we're thinking of if you're representing a state, and I appreciate this. It's difficult. It's not very easy on the gas or wallet, but getting to interact with your different members of communities in all parts of the state, because there's people with disabilities in all parts of the state.
Right. Letting them know what your
Um,
platform is and trying
yeah,
to get
and
help
and
and
and also trying to see how I can use my platform to help promote causes. I know right now in Baltimore, Maryland, there's an issue going on with the transportation system, the transportation system. So I'm trying to uplift and encourage the city to, you know, pull themselves together and work this out and see what we can do to
include everybody.
get right and get this going. It's apparently this electronic system is inoperable, so the rides really can't be made or scheduled, and it's
Right.
just a whole thing. So again, I'm trying to, again, spread this awareness. Not many people know about it. A lot of people don't want to talk about certain things.
Right. Right.
So spread that awareness and spread this, also the stories I meet, the stories of some of the people I meet. I want to do that more.
Right. Well,
I
good
went,
for you.
yeah, I went sailing last week.
Oh,
This,
wow.
this past Saturday. Yeah, I didn't plan on it. I thought it would just be a meet and greet, shaking hands, kissing babies type of situation, but I went out on a sailboat and met the wife of one of the sailors who had already started sailing before I did, and she was saying how this sailor in particular had a certain condition that was more progressive, and
And he's disabled.
yes, ma'am, has
Okay.
a progressive condition, and yeah, was used to sail and never thought he could, but stumbled onto this organization, and this is one of the few times of his life where he can feel like he used to feel.
Right. Yeah. That's
So,
amazing. Yeah.
yeah,
Promote.
definitely.
That's the stuff we got to promote.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And this organization called the Downtown Sailing Center.
And that's in Baltimore, Maryland.
It is in Baltimore, Maryland. Yes,
Yeah.
they're looking for funds. They're having a regatta, which I will be attending
Oh,
on the 20th.
very nice.
So,
We
yeah,
just
yeah.
we just recently found out that some of the national parks provide ATV vehicles for the disabled. There's one in Nashville or in Tennessee that we're looking forward to going, where the disabled can get on these ATVs and access areas that they couldn't otherwise access. So we like
Oh,
find out that kind of thing too.
oh, that's awesome. Is it that a track chair?
Is that what it is, Kev?
It is. It's the one park we investigated it. Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
And they're trying to roll it out nationwide. Right now, it's just a few national parks right now, but every park we go to, we try to see if we can get Kevin to get one of them, so we can go where
Oh,
go
oh,
on.
that's awesome. I love that for
Yeah.
y'all and
Well,
him,
you know how hard it is to get to places that is not accessible.
especially on a beach, but also a
Oh
park as
yes,
well.
yeah,
I
beach,
know,
beach.
I know Maryland is trying to, has a few inclusive parks, and it's such a beautiful thing. I would love more pictures, and that's something I'm trying to promote as well. In terms of my platform, just how visual we need to be
Right.
for especially the wheelchair using community.
Because you may
It-
not be able to do the activities, but you sure could take pictures and enjoy the
exactly, or
scenery and stuff like that.
what the space looks like, or
Right.
the pathways, how paved they are, or whatever.
Right.
I know Maryland right now is trying to work to get more inclusive playgrounds, and I love
Oh yeah,
that idea.
we just got one for our in our area, an inclusive playground.
Yeah, exactly. What that means, what that could mean for children with disabilities, especially the wheelchair user, and I'm using a population. I want to be specific and sort of separate them. I know we shouldn't separate, but it really and truly is a different world.
Right.
Being a wheelchair user, the space that's needed for us and the accommodations, if you will, is very different than the ambulatory community.
Right.
But it's for this children with disabilities and also parents and guardians with disabilities.
Right.
How do we facilitate play, which is essential to childhood?
Right. And learning, and encourages learning
Exactly.
and
Ooh, I love
grow
what you
and
just, I love that. I love it.
growth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. How can our listeners get in touch with you if they have any further questions or would like to call for support?
Sure. And I have a GoFundMe as well.
Okay, good.
If there's anyone
So
that would love to support me in that way as well.
Kevin
Yeah,
can include that on in the information on this podcast, but go ahead and tell us what it is.
Of course. Well, I have a Facebook page, and I actually typed it and put it in a message, but it's Miss MS period wheelchair Maryland 2025. And Maryland is the state, the name spelled out.
Okay.
You need me to spell it?
No, that's fine.
Okay. Okay.
All
So
right.
yes, ma'am. That's my Facebook page, and
Okay, well, Kevin will put that information in the podcast information, and we thank you for spending this time with us, and congratulations.
thank you so much, and thank you for having me on this program and podcast. I appreciate y'all so much.
You're welcome anytime.
Well,
Alrighty.
Carla, what was your last name?
Cobbs, COB like boy, B like boy, S like Sunday. Cobbs.
Okay, got it. All right, like I said, told you, Kevin will edit it all out, and then he will send you a copy.
Gee, that was great. Thanks, Miss Wheelchair Melon. So that was it for this episode. You join us next time on When Life Gives You Lemons. Till next episode, take those lemons and make your own lemonade.